Hello, everyone. I'm excited to share my thoughts on Horace Miner's fascinating piece, Body Ritual Among the Nacirema. This piece often used I should say, anthropology, highlight the cultural realism of a concept that suggests a person's belief and values and practices should be understood based on that person's culture and not just be judged against the criteria of another culture based on the narconemia culture. America backwards. I'm bad at words. So much better at writing. Anyways, it is a satirical portrayal of American culture. When I first read it, I found it very thought provoking because it explores the American cultural through this anthropology lens. I view it through the lens of somebody that has complex PTSD, bipolar, um, too, and just diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And so I often experience heightened awareness of social norms and behaviors that many don't. And Miner's description of various body rituals resonate with me. It serves as a powerful reminder of how deeply ingrained cultural values influence our seemingly harmless practice, which often stem from core issues of self worth, social acceptance, and even trauma. I've learned that a lot over the last 2 years in therapy. His insights challenge us to reflect crucially on our engagements with these rituals. Connecting Miner's observations with my own experiences, how trauma and mental health struggles can shape our perceptions on social expectations, including languages. For instance, I often find myself engaging in small talk to avoid deeper conversation that might trigger my anxiety. It's crucial to explore how our fixations on the body can sometimes reflect a deeper narrative of pain and instinction to survive. Let us not shy away from these discussion. Hard for me to say. Instead, let us embrace them and foster understanding as we journey together to recognize and transform our cultural practices. And as I mentioned, I want to dive deeper into the American patterns of communication. And it's so fascinating because small talk is a ritual. We do it everywhere, whether it's in grocery stores, doctor's office, or with familiar faces. It can sometimes seem so superficial, often revolving around topics like the weather or what we're doing that weekend. However, it is essential for us to understand how deeply this is reflected as a core American cultural value, emphasizing friendliness and approachability, especially down here in the South. Despite many people's challenges and emotional struggles, small talk is a bridge, helping us establish connections with others. Hofstede, 2021. Small talk notably functions just as sociably lubrication, but as productively like a protective machine, particularly for individuals navigating trauma for mental health issues like myself. It acts as a shield, allowing us to maintain a sense of normalcy or control of what's going on, of the conversation, of the situation. It also allows us to control the depth of the intimacy of the conversation, of emotion that are exchanged within the conversation, within the relative of the relationship itself. For instance, when I'm feeling particularly anxious, I can engage in small talk about the weather or about plans to help me avoid the narrative of negative talk that's going on in my head. Talking about everyday matters can distract from the underlying pain that's continuously. But It can also lead to isolation as we miss the deeper connection that nourishes our inner spirit. Historically, the nature of small talk has transformed alongside technical advancements and societal changes. In conversations centered around daily activities and shared experience foster deeper connections to people and the environment. However, with the rise of urbanization and technology, small talk shifts towards becoming a socialized experiment, which can sometimes disconnect us from more meaningful dialogue. Today's social media has added another layer to this phenomenon. Now we engage in small talk through digital platforms, which have much warmth as marvel and intimacy that face-to-face interactions has. This shift can leave some feeling even more isolated, highlighting the tendency to favor surface level exchange over emotional authenticity. Such experiences can be particularly challenging for those grappling with inner struggles. Check that one. Reflecting on those changes, I cannot help but feel that the evolution of small talk is somewhat detrimental to our culture. While it creates a facade of connection, it frequently perpetrates emotional distance and can hinder the growth of meaningful conversation. A study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, Hayes 1988, reveals that intimacy thrives on deeper connections, suggesting that resilience on small talk can reinforce feeling of loneliness, especially for those dealing with mental health challenges. While small talk plays a role in societal situation, it is crucial to recognize its limitations and impact in our emotional well-being. In a culture that often values superficial over genuine connections, we must be inspired to strive for a deeper, more authentic interaction. These interactions generally nourish our spirit, foster a sense of belonging that brings us all together the way God intended it to be.